Real talk, the Switch has always been kind of a weird home for RTS games, but I love that it keeps getting better at it, and now with Switch 2 getting more mouse support and stronger hardware, strategy games finally feel less like a compromise and more like the real deal. These are 10 RTS or RTS-adjacent strategy picks I keep coming back to, plus a couple I am watching hard for Switch 2 ports. Pikmin 4 is already my favorite chill strategy game on Switch. The Enhanced Edition name is basically fan talk right now, but the Switch 2 compatibility is a real thing on the eShop. What I love is the clockwork planning in tiny moments. You are multitasking squads, managing hazards, and reading enemy patterns. The night expeditions feel like puzzle combat under pressure, and Iwachi makes routing and rescues way less annoying than before. I play it like an RTS sandbox, not a strict checklist. The map design rewards scouting, then snapping into an optimized plan. Dandori battles are straight-up speed strategy, and honestly addictive. It is approachable, but still has that brainy, tactical bite. If Switch 2 boosts clarity and frame rate, even better. This is strategy comfort food, and I mean that nicely. They are billions is pure RTS panic, in the best way. You build, expand, and pray you did not miss one opening. One runner slips through and your whole town can collapse, so every wall, tower, and patrol route matters. I love the real-time with pause style because it lets you make smart decisions without feeling rushed. The economy balance is tight, so greed always feels risky. Your defenses are a puzzle, and the zombies are the timer. Even the campaign missions force you to adapt and improvise. If you like base defense RTS, this is mandatory. It is stressful, but it is the kind of stress I enjoy. When a hold works, it feels like a perfect plan finally landing. Circle Empires 2 is fast, punchy, and built for replay runs. You expand outward, circle by circle, grabbing resources and territory. It feels like RTS distilled into quick, high-energy matches because you are always deciding something. I love how it pushes aggression without turning into pure chaos. I have not seen a confirmed Switch or Switch 2 version yet, but the format makes so much sense on a handheld system. Short sessions, clear goals, and that one more run feeling. Units and biomes keep the matchups from getting stale fast. If it lands on Switch 2, it could become a go-to, especially with mouse controls for quick selection and snappy building. Until then, I am calling it a dream port worth tracking. Menace is more tactical than classic RTS, but strategy fans should care. It is squad-based combat with big sci-fi war energy, more like modern XCOM style than base building. Right now, it is not on Switch platforms, but I am including it because Switch 2 needs more of this genre. The battles look like careful positioning, cover control, and smart tool use instead of pure APM. What I like most is the sense of authored missions, where you are not just grinding, you are solving combat situations. If it ever gets a Switch 2 announcement, I am in. Until then, it is my strategy wishlist pick for this list because it feels like it would fit handheld play really well.
Casualties, Major.
I'll get him back for you.
Citadelum hits that city builder strategy itch with Roman flavor. You are managing food, water, jobs, and defenses like a real governor. And the vibe is calm until barbarians remind you to build walls. I like that it mixes economy growth with military planning, because you are not just decorating, you are optimizing survival and expansion. A Switch 2 version being listed is a big deal because city builders live and die on readable UI and solid performance. Switch 2 power should help with bigger towns and smoother flow. The God system adds goals beyond pure profit, and trade routes feel satisfying when they finally click. It is not an esports RTS, it is a thinking game, and that is exactly why I like it. Factorio already eats my whole weekend when I let it, and Space Age takes that obsession and launches it into orbit. You push beyond rockets and start managing multi-world logistics chains, which is RTS thinking expressed through factories and flow. You plan layouts, defend your territory, and optimize every bottleneck. The best part is how problems scale up in layers, because fixing one belt jam reveals 5 more smarter upgrades to make. Mouse support on Switch 2 is a huge win here since inventory management and blueprint placement become way faster. It is brain heavy, but the payoff feels ridiculously satisfying. If you like deep systems, this is the king right now. Just be warned, it will steal your sense of time. Tempest Rising is pure classic RTS energy. Like a love letter to the old school PC days, base building, resource control, and faction fights feel super familiar, but not outdated. You scout, you harass, you tech up, and you push timing attacks. Right now, I have not seen an official Switch or Switch 2 release, but it is exactly the kind of RTS I want on the new hardware, especially if mouse-style controls keep becoming more common. The campaign structure also sounds perfect for handheld sessions. So yeah, this is my hopeful port slot. If it lands, it could become one of the flagship RTS options on Switch 2. This is not strict RTS, but it feels strategic in motion. You are managing fronts, clearing keeps, and juggling objectives constantly, and that battlefield awareness is basically real-time tactics with Zelda flavor. I love when Warriors games make you choose where to be, because if you chase kills, you lose ground and fail objectives. If you play smart, you win fast and control the map. Age of Imprisonment being a Switch 2 exclusive makes it even more interesting, since better performance can make these big battles feel smoother and less messy. If you want fast strategy on Switch 2, this one scratches the itch in a fun way.
Let us fulfill our duty.
Pax Autocratica is a wild mix, and I respect it for that. It blends colony management with satirical rulemaking, which means you are not only building, you are shaping society with policy choices. That is strategy, because every rule has consequences you have to manage later. I still treat its Switch 2 situation as wait and see, but the concept has sleeper hit energy. The hook is running a regime like a machine, where resource flow, citizen stats, and enforcement all become your battlefield. It sounds darkly funny, but also mechanically serious underneath. If the Switch 2 version happens, this could be one of those games people discover late and then cannot stop talking about. Overrogue is turn-based, but it scratches the strategy brain hard. Deck building is basically army building, just with cards instead of units. You plan synergies, manage risk, and adapt to random dungeon setups. The Switch 2 edition improvements matter a lot here because card games live or die on clean UI, readable text, and fast inputs. I like how runs push you to make smart sacrifices. Do you grab a safe card, or gamble for a broken combo? There are tons of cards and treasures, so builds feel personal, and every run teaches you something. On handheld, it is a perfect couch strategy game because you can play one run, stop, and come back later without feeling lost. If you made it this far, drop a comment with your favorite RTS on Switch and tell me what you want ported to Switch 2 next. For me, the dream is getting more classic base builders with proper mouse support because the hardware finally feels ready for it.